Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Kezia. This is my very first video, guys, and I will be talking about a mixture of so many things. I'll talk about PhD lifestyle, basically academics, and in this video I'm just going to discuss things that you need to think about before you start a PhD program. When I started my PhD program, I really did not have anyone to tell me so many things. So the very first thing that I would talk about is your motivation. Why do you want to do a PhD? When people come to me to say, "Oh, Kezia, I want to do a PhD. I want to have a doctorate degree. I'm concluding my master's, and I feel like a PhD program is the next step for me." The very first thing I ask them is why? Why do you want to do a PhD? Why do you want to go into this program? Why do you want to dedicate your life, like the next 4 years, to doing a PhD? Why do you want to do it? Yeah, are you doing a PhD because your friend maybe your friend graduated with a doctorate, or you have a friend in the program who's doing a PhD, or basically anything? People do PhDs for so many reasons. So many people want to stay back in the country where they are, and that's why they want to do a PhD because it gives them the continuity that they want where they are at the moment. But yeah, whatever your reason is for doing a PhD program is going to be very, very intense. And it's not like a master's program where you have research assistants, you have your lecturers where they tell you what to do. In a PhD program, it's not like that. You're going to do it by yourself. So you're going to be the one to come up with what you want to do, except if you have a studentship that the topic is already there. You're just going into the program to help a professor or something, just contribute your quota to solving the research problem that they have identified. The subject has been laid out for you already. The problem is there already. You just go in there, do the research work, and that's it. But if you actually want to go into it by yourself, that's you applying for the program. You have to be the one to develop the research problem. You have to be the one to develop the methodology, everything that has to go into it. So it's like it's a personal thing. You don't really want to go into it for the very wrong reasons. It's so easy to quit. I have so many people who have stopped doing the program, but for me, I persisted because of the reason why I actually wanted to do it, and I needed to see that actualized. So yeah, your motivation is what will keep you in the study. The very next thing that I would tell you to do is to pick your supervisors. You know what they say about supervisors and relationships. So when you're liking the relationship between you and your supervisor to having a steady relationship for 4 years, so that's how it's going to be. So it's you and him for the next 4 years. You have to go to your supervisor for everything that you need. If you have a problem in your study, the supervisor is the very first point of need. So that's why I advise people to ensure that the person you pick, if you have the chance to pick your supervisor, the person that you pick to be your supervisor has to be someone that is dedicated, as if not as much as you are, because it's your program, but they are there to walk you through it. So your supervisor has to be the person that is very, very knowledgeable. First, they have to be knowledgeable in your area. They have to know what they are doing. They have to be able to guide you in the right path. They have to know everything that you're trying to do, because if they are not really knowledgeable in your area, in your field, like in the field that you're trying to do your research in, it's going to be a problem. So yeah, your supervisor has to have the knowledge that you want, the basic knowledge that you want, and your supervisor has to be a kind person. Maybe not kind on the personal level, but it has to be a kind academic. So kind, when I mean kind academic, he has to have some particular characteristics that would suit you. So it's when you have a supervisor who is toxic, it's going to be hard for you to meet them, to get the help that you need. So picking your supervisor is very, very important. If you are the type that you want to go into a PhD where everything is set up for you already, so it's a professor advertising for a particular role, they want a PhD student to come and help them solve this particular research, then your supervisor has been picked already. Just go I would advise just go on with the supervisor and try your best to solve the problem that they employed you for. So you're doing a PhD, but you're still an employer. They are paying you to get something done, so you have to try your best to get it done. And if you're not delivering, that's when the problem comes in. PhD is a very lonely journey, which takes a toll on people's mental health. There were so many times during my PhD that I felt like I was just done. I wasn't in the right frame of mind to go on. My mental health was impacted. I had days when I wasn't sleeping. I had days when I was just racking my head trying to get to the next stage in my program, in my PhD program. And it was such a tough time for me. What helped me was just paying more attention to my mental health. So most of this time is when I realized that I was actually really, really burnt out. I just needed to take a break. So what I did was I took a break for like 2 weeks. I wasn't opening my laptop. I ensured that I wasn't doing anything. I would just go and do things that would make me come back to the right mindset. Just maybe hanging out with friends, maybe talking to people, maybe talking to a counselor, maybe talking, really anything that you like, taking a vacation, going out, traveling, and then come back into the program. And that was what I did every time I was at that point in my life. So before you start a PhD program, you have to make allocations. You have to make allocations for all of this. You have to ensure that you have people in place, people that you can go to. You have a safe space that you can go to, especially when you feel like you can't go on. You have people by your side who will help you, your family members, your friends, fellow PhD students who are going through exactly what you're going through, and they are in the right capacity to help you. They tell you what to do, they tell you what to do, where to go, how to go about what you're stuck with. And that brings me to my next point, having the right support system. You need to have the right support system before you start a PhD. You need to have people around you. You need to have people that you rely on. It could be like a social circle that you can go to. For me, during my program, I had people that I always went to. I had support system, people who knew exactly what I was going through. So I had people who were there by my side, and I knew who to go to when I had a problem. When I had a research problem and I had read a lot of journals that I wasn't really understanding what I had to do, I had people who I went to, and they sort of helped me through it. So having the right support system is really, really, really important before you start your PhD program. And the very last thing that I will talk about, is to have a workspace. Trust me, you need a workspace. If you're like me, but you find it very hard to stand up from your bed. I mean, I could get things done in my bed, but I realized that I got things done faster when I go to my workspace. So if you're doing your PhD remotely or you're based on campus, you need a space, a workspace for yourself. So your workspace is where you would be more productive. And when you go to your workspace, you know that this is my time out, this is my time to study, and this is what I am going to do. This is where I should be. This is where you're more productive. And to be productive in your workspace, you need to know what time that you're more productive. Timetable when I was doing my PhD was in the morning. I'm not really a morning person, so I wake up, I stay in my bed for a while. It takes me a long time to actually have the motivation to stand up and leave my bed. So what I did was that I realized that I work best at night. I work best in the evening. I work best at night. I write better in the evening and at night. So what I did in the morning was, in the morning I would try to read something not related to my study. So I would read maybe a novel, or just read something on Medium or something on Instagram, something to just get my brain warmed up. And after that, I stand up and go to my space, and then I read some journals, some abstracts, some things to also get my brain to recognize that we are getting to that space where we would have to get some work done on the research that we are doing, because it's me and my mind now, and I talk to myself all the time. So I just try to warm myself up, and by the time it's like 3 or 1 to 3 p.m. I'm ready to get working. And when I get to my space, everything just keeps pouring. I wrote my PhD, I wrote my thesis in less than a week. Everything that I wrote in less than a week, and it's because I had been practicing writing. So I practiced writing every day, writing my thesis. So when it was time to get everything together, it wasn't hard for me to do. It wasn't difficult for me to do. I just basically had to update my literature, update everything that I needed to be updated on, to make sure that my research was up to date. So yeah, these are the very basic things that you need to have lined up before you begin your PhD program. I hope that this video has helped you in any way. If this video has helped you, please subscribe, please like, and also share my channel. In the next couple of days, I will be uploading more videos about your PhD program, about academics, and any other thing. And if there's anything that you want me to address, if there's anything that you want to know, please drop that in the comment section. Thank you. See you next time.